What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at MSTY. As you can see, we've spoke about this previously, but we have our two downward sloping trend lines. That's the main focus right now. Kind of depends on how you draw it, but either way, we have broken out. Starting to look good. We got about 2-3 candles that have made it outside of that downward sloping trend line. Looking very promising. Potential bottoming pattern. All we need is a little bit of momentum to push us up. Of course, if you're an MSTY investor, I know you might not want to look at Bitcoin or MSTR, but I think it's crucial for sure to be watching both of them to have a good idea. BTC is going to affect MSTR, MSTR is going to affect MSTY. So I think having a good sense of where they're at is key. I think this is a great time to accumulate as an MSTY investor. And maybe you could even come up with a strategy where you drip back in all the way up to, I'm not telling you what to do, but these are just like ideas. Maybe you drip anywhere under like 28 or something like that. You continue to reinvest your dividends to bulk up your shares, and then you let it ride from here. And from 28 up, you start to accumulate a cash position. So you accumulate a cash position, so you can either start buying some Bitcoin with that, or you can start buying some MSTR, or you can buy another income fund that is more secure and reliable. But I think this is a great time to use MSTY as the tool that it is. Another thing that you could also do, partially drip back in. So for instance, you continue to do what I'm saying that you're doing, where you accumulate more shares and drip up to 28, but you're living off of a part of the dividends and you're reinvesting a part of it back into MSTY as well. Just portfolio ideas. Of course, you can do the drip the full way if you'd like to do that as well. There's really no right or wrong way. You just got to do research and make sure you're doing what's the most effective for your specific situation, because my situation is probably different than a lot of others, and each one of you guys have different situations from each other. So you have to do what works for you, your family, your needs, what kind of income you need. But I definitely think we need to be watching Bitcoin and MSTR. So here's a Bitcoin chart. I do think we could get a nice move to the upside if we break this wick, a strong move above this wick. I think we could probably see 90,500, so about 91.5, 91.2 before we get some kind of resistance. But this is acting as a strong level of resistance right now. Price is slowly trying to break through it. So let's see if we get a nice pump into that. And then just taking a look back at MSTY and global liquidity, I'm sure everybody's been seeing that a lot. Let's take a look at MSTY. It looks like it's already starting to match up with global liquidity, of course with the lag. As you can see, we had a similar situation here where it's almost like a triple bottom in a sense, and we kind of have a triple bottom as well here. I don't know if you guys see that. You have like this. I mean, it's going down a little bit more, and then you can see here we kind of had something similar where we were continuing down and making fresh lows and starting to create a triple bottom. So maybe that's what we're doing here. Bitcoin's tightly correlated to global liquidity, so MSTY will be correlated as well. I don't know if we've already started our move upwards, but I think we potentially could have. And as you can see, when you account for that lag, things started to run up pretty aggressively from there. So the first one was around a 70-day lag, and then if you go from this bottom to here, we're somewhere in the 84 to 87 day range if this is the move up. So we don't really know exactly where the lag is. As you can see, it switches. First one was 70. This one could potentially be 85 plus. But global liquidity has been ramping up more. As you can see here, it's just been absolutely tearing it up, going upward consistently. Love to see that. So let's see where it goes today. Hopefully it makes another move up and not a move down. But even if it does, as you can see, when it does make moves down, it just continues ramping upward. In terms of the daily SMAs on MSTY, we have broken the 20. We got a nice close. On top of it, a bullish move, a green hammer pushing upward. And we had a little bit of resistance here at the 50, this pink line. We pushed up and got rejected downward a little bit, and now we closed back underneath it. So let's see if we can make our way back above. Currently in pre-market, we're at 21.69, so we're right on the 50 SMA. So let's see if today can be that move where we hold a close above the 50, get a retest the following, and continue up higher. And on the 4 hour, we're looking very good. We got the 20, we broke above the 20 and the 50. We got a bounce off of it, pushing up higher. And we're starting to see that 20 SMA start to curl up and hopefully curl and pass this 50 SMA so we can push up higher and have a sustainable move to the upside. On the 4 hour Bollinger Bands, we got our bounce off the green band. We normally don't spend too much time on the outer bands unless we have a strong sustainable trend. As you can see, we hug the green band on the way down. So hopefully on an upward move, we hug the red band on the way up. As you can see here, we kind of did that. You know, we'd spend a little bit of time touching the blue band, but most of the time it's just hugging the red band. So hopefully we could see something like that where we're just hugging this red band on the way up. And on the daily, we did get above the blue band, so now we're in the middle area, trying to make our way up to the red as well. On the RSI, we're looking very good. Looks like we got some kind of an inverse head and shoulders, and it's pushing upward. That's a very bullish sign. As you can see here, you got your shoulder here, head, and then you have another shoulder. And let's see if we push up higher. Or it could be a cup and handle, but I think it's more of an inverse head and shoulders. So let's see if we can. We just broke this midline at 50. Let's see if we can get to overbought territory and hold that for an extended period like we saw here. On the MACD, we're looking very good. We got a nice move to the upside, creating higher highs, higher lows. We kind of created some kind of bull flag here on the MACD. As you can see, we have this move, and then now we're kind of creating that flag pattern. And then you're just missing the bottom piece right here. So you got your flagpole being created, very bullish sign, and we're already starting to create fresh highs now. We're kind of at a level of resistance above, but let's see if we break this and start to continue creating green candles to the upside. We want to see a sustainable move to the upside, or we see something like that, a stair stepping upward. And on the 4 hour, looking very good. We fell underneath, we got a double bottom, and we're pushing up higher. Now we are starting to see the green volume die out a little bit. You can see it's turning white, but we want to get that green back up going again. So, but that's happened prior. Like on this move upward, you can see you get some humps in there. So even here, you can see when we have these aggressive moves, you still have moments where the volume dies out a little bit in between these large moves up. Overall, though, it's looking extremely bullish. And then we're going to take a look at the MSTR chart. MSTY doesn't do well without MSTR. Right now, we're just here at this downward sloping trend line, this outer trend line. And we just need to break above that and get it closed. We're currently at 324, so we're outside of it at the moment but we want to see something where we get a sustainable close outside and then retest this level so we can push up higher. And that'll allow MSTY to ramp up and push up to this next level. The next level that I could see, really, the next level of resistance would be somewhere around this region here. If we get this double bottom playing out, we could get some heavy resistance at 26 to 27.5. So somewhere in this region, we can get some resistance on the way up. But then once we break above it, it can act as a strong level of support. As you can see, prior we've had a bounce off of here and we fell through, bounced support, resistance, support, and it's just been playing around this level. So we should see the same thing on the way up, maybe a little bit of resistance, but once we break it, it should act as support as it has multiple times, and we can push up higher. That's all I have for you guys on MSTY. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.